Hey guys, and welcome back to Willa May Ranch. So, this week's vlog is a rainy day on the farm. We're going to do a little bit of tidying up, a little bit of decorating, but first we have to get all of these farm chores done. And I thought I would bring you guys along to show you all of the new arrivals coming here in spring. We finally got the garden tilled and it is a muddy mess. I'm so happy that I didn't plant anything this week, but I believe I'm in zone 4, so it'll be next week when I start my planting. So all of those plants that y'all seen in last week's vlog is what I'll be planting here in the garden, just waiting for it to dry up some. But heading on outside, we've got to get these chickens fed, the turkeys fed, and the dogs. And we have some new arrivals, so stay tuned. We'll be talking about that a little later. When I start to see the green grass pop up and all of the flowers starting to bloom and everything starting to come to life, it just warms my heart, especially when there's new babies on the ground. As you've seen in the beginning, we just started to put back in the incubator. If you guys are interested in that, it'll be linked below in the description box for that incubator. But we have some new arrivals. These baby lambs we have to feed every 4 to 6 hours, but they've been such a joy here on the farm. I have really enjoyed feeding them and just getting to know their personalities, and boy were they hungry. So every morning before I start my day, these are my daily farm chores that I have to get done, and they are so sweet. The dogs just adore them, and the kiddos love to feed them every single morning before we get ready to go off to school. So let's get these fed and then head on back into the house. Let's get some baking done, some cleaning done, and a little bit of decorating. As I collect these eggs every morning, it still amazes me that I finally got to the part where this is a dream life. I know that I am very blessed to have all of these animals and this beautiful scenery and to have fresh eggs out for me, but it took me a while to get here. So don't feel discouraged if you watch these videos and think, oh, one day I'm going to be there. One day you will be. God is not going to let you suffer and not have the things that you dream of. Just keep working at it hard, and one day at a time, you'll get there. One of the greatest joys of my daughter's afternoons is collecting all of these eggs. She just thinks it's such a joy to do. So we get to clean those up and put them in the basket together, playing in the water, of course. But every morning when I go out to get these eggs, I'm so thankful to have these to feed to my family and the lambs and all of the scenery. It just puts my heart at ease with such a fast paced, busy life. It's just nice to come home to easy, slow going and having all of these blessings outside to feed to your family, or a sourdough bread baking, or cookies in the oven. And those baby lambs just born this year was such a blessing to our family. Hopefully, we will have a nice generative income from that. That is my goal for this year, is to have the homestead generate its own money for itself. So that's why I hope to have a farm stand as well towards the end of this year. But goals, always have goals. That's what we're working towards in this vlog. But let's get a move on. Let's get these eggs put away. As we head on inside to make breakfast, we had a project we had to get done in this springtime. We was just waiting for the weather to break so that we could get it done. But we're building another pen right beside our house. If you guys want to check out some fencing that we used, it was called Vinbor. It's hardware cloth and it's already coated in the black. So all of my farmhouse people out there, y'all already know that the chicken coops that are in wire, you really can't see through them. So head on over to my TikTok shop. It'll be labeled over there, pinned to the top, but you can actually see through it. And I didn't have to spend any time painting it. It comes like that. I believe you can get it in 50 or 100 foot, but great fencing. I used it for my lambs. I used it for my dogs, and I will be using it on my chickens, and I'll be filming that as well. But head on over there and check out that if you have some projects that you need to get done, especially with fencing or hardware cloth. But moving on, the family wanted homemade biscuits, ham, and tomato. Now, who doesn't love ham, tomato, and homemade biscuits? Just look how those turned out. I always cook mine in a cast iron, and I always save some to freeze. If you guys want to go back to that vlog, I actually have a recipe on how I made it. It's one of the very first videos that I did, but I'll try to tag it in between here. But let's get this breakfast made and then head on over to decorating and tidying up the house. One of the questions that I got over on my other Instagram account was, how do I fit it all in one day? Well, you guys are seeing what I fit in 1 week. But one thing that I do remember to do is make beds in the morning, vacuum, tidy up the house. That is the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning. with Easter right around the corner, I got these cute little bunny slippers for my little 5-year-old. She absolutely loved them. I'll link them down below if I can find them again. But now heading on up to the kids' room, let's get their bed made, get the clothes put away, get a load of laundry started. I always start with a load of laundry. I try to do that throughout the week because I don't want to do it on the weekends when we're out doing stuff. So just getting that routine done makes me feel so much better about the day. And then let's head on downstairs and start the decorating, which is thought I would share this book right here. It's called God Gave Me Grandma, and I'm going to go back and get the other ones. They have a God Made Me Grandpa, but it has like little animal figures. It's one of my daughter's favorite books, and that's another thing I like to do is decorate with books that are around Easter themed and that sort of nature, so grab that tip. But she absolutely loves this book. I'm going to link it down below and a bunch of others that I plan on going back to get along with the sleeper. So check out the description box below. Awesome on it. I'm going to link it down below as well if you're looking for an affordable vacuum cleaner. It really isn't that much, and I've had it for almost a year and I absolutely love it. But the rug, the vacuum cleaner, all of that will be linked down below. Go back and look at my videos if you guys want to see how I did this room. But these little owls, if you guys remember last year, my daughters painted these, and I got these at Hobby Lobby, and they had several different options that you could choose from, but one of them's rainbow and the other one is just like the classic um, owl look. But then I added these flowers that came from, I believe, the dollar store. But we did this little nifty craft for my kiddos when they were little. It's just a mason jar that they had painted, and then I added like little stick on, I believe they're stick on or they're glue on, little foam bunny rabbits and carrots just to decorate the jars. And that's what I'm using this year to decorate this whole island right here. This is one of the spots that I love coming home to because it's right in through the front door. So I like for this to look as pristine as possible. Just those little things can make your home feel warm and cozy. If you guys change up the decor throughout the season, I love to do it because it just gives a warm and inviting feeling to your home. Definitely recommend. I'm going to link some of these down below. So let's get to finishing up and show you guys what I come up with. Also, when I started this, because I was using things that I had downstairs, like these flowers, I just repurposed. I always have a bunch of flowers to put inside of my vases, especially inside the house. I just think it makes everything look more warming. But I wanted to use this plate, and then I changed my mind because I found this basket that I had bought years ago. Someone had given it to me, and I'm so thankful that she did because it just matched this decor so much better than this bowl. So you'll see me switch that out at the very end. But get creative with your decorating because that's what makes a house a home. Use your imagination, use the things that you have in your home. Even if your kiddos want to chip in and like do the like mason jar thing, home decor, it doesn't have to be something that's bought off the shelf that is plain and boring. We can make these ourselves and have our kids involved in them, just like the mason jar. I will try to link that little craft down below, but it makes your house feel so warm and inviting. Kiddos, whenever they see their ornaments that they decorated back on the shelf, it just, I don't know, that she's so happy every time she comes to the door and is like, hey, I did that like 5 years ago, or I did that like 6 years ago. I always try to buy decorating things to mix and match with whenever I'm decorating my house. So keep that tip in mind if you have little ones. It's things that can grow up with them, especially a lot of the decor stuff that I use throughout my home. So here's the basket that I switched out. I found it downstairs and I didn't film putting all the flowers, but basically I did the same thing, just stuffed it full of flowers and then put some Easter eggs on top. And these lanterns y'all see in every single video, I've had them for years. I've just switched the candles out, put different colors in them, try to spice the things up. And then up top, I love these Easter bunnies. They work great for me every single year. And just adding a pop of color with the white, yellow, and pink flowers in here with the homemade jar. Just, I don't know, it just gives farmhouse feel. The kids love it when they come home. Love the way this turned out. Now let's head on over to getting the spring eggs. In my last video vlog, you guys seen where we started the incubator. So now we are on the very last 3 days. So in the last 3 days, you have to take out the turning tray so it doesn't turn the baby chicks as they hatch. obviously, but I'm going to link this down below. Y'all seen in my last video vlog, we hatched AM Samanis, and this is a mixture of barnyard mix and AM Samanis. And all you do is remove the tray. And then you don't have to do this, an extra precaution. We just add like a mesh so that whenever they do hatch, they're not like wobbly or slipping around because that bottom plate is plastic. So I add, this is like kitchen rubbery stuff that you put inside of your drawers and stuff. And that's all I put on the floor so that they have something to stick to while they're walking around in there and trying to get dry. But we add it to the bottom in the last 3 days of incubation. And we've started selling these. So I'm super happy about that. The 3-day-old baby chicks, so fun. The kids love to hatch them out, and what we did is we put number ones on these so that we know that these are the AM Samanis, and number twos on the barnyard mix. So we'll have know which ones are hatching, plus they'll be different colors. So we're just going to add these back in here, and then we put the lid back on it and let them set and incubate for the last 3 days. And over that 3 days time, they'll start to hatch. But love this incubator. And in this, you'll see there's two right below there. There's a red tab and a clear tab. In the last 3 days, you're going to remove that red tab and add water to it so that they have enough water to sustain them while they're being hatched. It just takes a little bit more. But this incubator, I'm telling you, I have not said enough good things about it. It keeps the temperature for you, it keeps the date for you, and it also has, there's the red tab I was talking about that you take off, and then in the last 3 days, you don't want to do it before then, but it keeps tabs on the days, the thermometer, and the light on top. You actually have a kindling light on top. So I'll link this down below if you guys are interested in trying it. Concludes the vlog. I love this thing. I will link it down below. As I'm getting ready to wrap this up, I go outside and there's a rainbow starting to form. It had been raining on and off. But as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and a beautiful day. I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe.